This is a video presentation for CPRO2120 Implementing Cloud Services Capstone, Week 2, Lab 4, Configuring DNS. Before you do this lab, you should have previously completed Labs 2 and 3. In this lab, you're going to configure the domain that you previously bought from GoDaddy.com, and you're going to configure that to support Exchange email with your Office 365 E3 subscription. Start by logging into your Office 365 portal, login.microsoftonline.com, and then you're going to click on the admin button. You're going to click on Settings, Domains, add a domain, type in your domain name here, the one that you did in Lab 3. If you don't know what that is or can't remember, it should be your last name with 2017 appended to it. Or as an alternative, you can go to GoDaddy.com and go into your account, click on Manage My Domains, and pull up your domain name that way. And so there you can see exactly what the name is. I've already added my domain in here, so I'm going to step back a step. Once you add your domain and click Next, you'll get to this window here. I've already tried to sign into GoDaddy to verify my account. That's not working for me because I have too many accounts and the authentication's getting messed up. So I'm going to show you how to do the add a text record instead. I would suggest you try the sign in to GoDaddy first, because then it'll automatically configure your DNS for you. If that doesn't work for you, then follow this next step about adding a text resource record instead, and then click on Next. And here it gives you the details for the text record that you're going to add to the zone file at GoDaddy. The host is going to be @ the text value is going to be this right here, so I'm actually going to just copy that, and then the time to live value is going to be 3600. So then once I've got that information written down, I'm going to go to GoDaddy.com, and we're back to where I went to my account, manage domains, selected my domain, and now I'm going to click on DNS zone file. This is my zone record right here for the domain that I purchased. You can see that it has the default GoDaddy attributes associated with it right now. We will be changing all of those. You don't have to change everything, but I recommend getting rid of the stuff that you're not using. There is a nice button on the zone record here somewhere that says restore defaults, so if you made a bad mistake, you could simply just go back and click on restore defaults, and it would pop all this stuff right back in there for you. So to verify our domain, we're going to add a text record. So you go to the text section here, add a record, and again the record type is text. The host value is the @ sign. The text value is what I copied out of the configuration there, and then the time to live 3600 seconds or 1 hour. Then we're going to click on finish. Now my text record is in there. I'm going to go back to my Office and click on verify. This might take a little while before it becomes available for verification. I don't think I saved my domain actually, so that might be one problem. See up here, you have to click on Save Changes to write that actually to the file. GoDaddy does work pretty fast, so since it's designed to work with Office 365. You can see that it could take up to 10 to 15 minutes, so if this next step doesn't verify, I'm going to pause the recording and then we will continue on later. So now we've got verify the domain, set up your online services, and then update the settings. So the other nice thing about using GoDaddy to configure your Office 365 is they will add all the required records for you. If you want to do it yourself, you can just click on the I'll add the DNS records myself, and then click next. And it should generate a list of the records that you're going to need to configure at GoDaddy. So now you can see at this window here, we have some different records that we need to make our Office 365 work. And this first record here is a MX record. That's a mail record. And you'll notice that it's going to be set to silba2017-com.mailprotection.outlook.com. And right now we have the default GoDaddy ones. Those will be removed. Under the CNAME records, you'll see you have autodiscover.outlook.com. That record is used to automatically configure your email clients when you want to add an account for one of your users. So all they have to do is enter their email address and their password, and then the Outlook client will automatically configure itself with the server settings and all of the other settings that they need for their email. Then you have a couple resource CNAME records here for your Link Online, which is our business teleconferencing system, and I'm actually using that to make these recordings. And then we have this text record here that's used for anti-spam. So in other words, it just says if it sees an email that's masquerading that it's coming from your email system, but it's not really coming from your email system, it will flag that as spam and won't let it go through. And again, we have some more Link Online server resource records that you will need to make your Skype for Business work properly. So you could add these records one at a time by going back and forth, or recording these and then going into your domain here at GoDaddy and adding them one at a time in here. Or alternatively, we can go back and give this a try, and I'll see if I can get it to work this time. If I can't, we'll go back and do them by hand. I have used this in the past and it has worked. Does not look like it's working for me, so I'm going to have to go back and do it the other way. So at this point, my MX record right here, just take a note of what you need so you can copy this to the clipboard. Go back to GoDaddy, and you can see that it doesn't like it when I tried to run that utility. I'm getting some kind of authentication mismatch. So the first thing we're going to start with is our mail exchanger records, and I'm just going to get rid of the ones that were there. And then I'm going to add a record. And the copy paste thing doesn't seem to be working too well, so we'll go back to here. So the host name is going to have a priority of 0, host name of the @ sign. Time to live is going to be 3600. And that's going to be my value, so we'll go back and host. Basically that @ sign means your domain, so it's going to have a priority of 0, and time to live is going to be 1 hour. And we can save the changes. So that's our MX record. So we need some CNAME records. So the host name is going to be autodiscover, and the value is going to be autodiscover.outlook.com. So again, you're going to see, so this was a CNAME record, so we're going to go to CNAME first. So I'll just find the CNAME section, and I'm going to get rid of all of those first. Notice you have a restore defaults if something would go wrong. So we're pointing, what this is saying is autodiscover points to this web server right here. And I like to cut and paste so I don't make any typos. So we have a few more we have to do here. Our SIP. Our link discover. Add another. I'm going to pause at this point and pop the rest of them in there, and then I'll be back to show you when I finish. Okay, I've added all the CNAME records, and now I'm going to add this text record. I'm doing this all in one shot here. So now to change to the text record, I simply go to there. And again, I just add a host value of the @ sign, and then that's the text record you want to add. And I'll finish adding the other records, and then I'll be back once I have all the additional records added. Okay, I'm all done adding all of my records, so I'm going to click on finish here. And as you can see, these are the records that we added. If you did not remove the GoDaddy records before, that's the verification record we added, those will still be in there. Won't hurt anything if they are, but make sure the very last thing you do is save changes. And it says here it may take up to 48 hours to reflect your changes, but in my experience, the major name servers like GoDaddy, Network Solutions, and such, they usually update within half an hour. Actually, I very rarely have them take 2 days. So then we can go back to our, once you've got that done, go back and click on verify. And it checks your records that you added to make sure they're set up correctly. And once you see the congratulations, click on finish. And now notice it changes your domain to the default domain. This is basically like a system domain here. And at that point, you're done with this exercise. Your DNS is now configured and ready to go to support your Exchange email system and your Skype for Business communication system. Please, I'll have a written copy of these instructions in the discussion area. And when you're all done, why don't you submit a screenshot either of your domain, this window here showing that your setup is complete, or alternatively, you can send me a screenshot of your zone file showing these CNAME records right here. Either one will be acceptable. So good luck. Let me know if you have any problems or questions.